Hi, my name is Jay. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw Baby Yoda using the charcoal pencils in your premium sketching and drawing set. Use a 2H or HB pencil for the preliminary sketch. We'll start by marking the main sections. Doing this will help us with the proportions. I'm going to draw 3 lines, a line where the head meets the wool trimming, a line on top of the head, and a line where the wool trimming meets the body. Now I'm going to draw a line through the middle. Because of these 4 lines, I can now easily see where the head should be. Keep the shape of the head in mind while drawing. Draw the general shape and size of both ears. Both ears are pointy, but the ear on the right is drawn longer. I realized I drew my bottom line too low. Don't worry if this happened to you. This is a rough sketch. Nothing is set in stone and we can easily erase and change anything we like. Before I continue with the rest of the body, I'm going to finish the face. Start by making a slightly curved line where the eyes will be and another curved line down the middle of the face. Then one last curved line where the mouth should go. Start by drawing the nose. Just a rough shape will do, as long as the size is correct. Now draw the middle line of the mouth. The eyes are large and right next to the nose. Just make sure to get their position right. If you are happy with the position of everything, you can go ahead and draw the top lip. Now that we have the basics of the face laid down, we can start refining the shape of the head. Some things you should be sure to capture is the large brow ridge and the rounding cheek below the eye. Also notice how there is barely any chin at all. The top of the head is pretty much flat before it curves down and joins the ear. You'll see me making many changes to my sketch before I start shading. It's okay to erase. Don't feel pressured into getting every line perfect on your first try. One tip I have is to make the changes before you erase the mistakes. Sometimes I do barely any erasing until the very end of the rough sketch. I know that can seem a little chaotic to some people, so feel free to erase as much as you need. Add more detail to the insides of the ear. I'm going back to the face to draw more details. This time, I start by drawing the underside of the brow ridge and the indent on the forehead. I'm also marking where the light will meet the shadow on the chin. Back to the ears. After I drew the little wrinkle where the ear connects to the head, I realized my ear is still too large. So I drew it shorter before erasing the part I don't want. Draw the wool trimming again. This time, pay greater attention to the shapes. Look at where it folds and where it has curves. Don't forget about the small triangle sticking out at the bottom. Now you can start on the rest of the body. Draw the sleeves first. Notice where they fold. Look at the lines and how they curve. Don't forget the line running down the middle of the body. Now that almost everything is drawn, we can more easily see what needs fixing. For instance, I can see that my body needs to move a little to the left. So I'll just redraw the lines to the left and erase the marks on the right. With these changes applied, I can go in and draw the hands. Start by drawing the curves where the sleeves rest on the hands. Now draw the bottom part of the sleeve, even the parts obscured by the hand. This will help us see what the size of the fingers should be. Start by drawing the finger on the left. It's extended and pointing to the left. The second finger appears thicker and doesn't go below the line of the bottom sleeve. The third finger is slightly bent at the tip and points to the right. After you drew the fingers, you can draw the nails. Pay close attention to where the nail touches the edges of the finger. Draw the hand on the right. The hand is more relaxed and the fingers curl inwards a little. Draw the rest of the body. I've drawn all the basic lines now. It's time to take a look at the big picture to see if anything needs to be adjusted. The ear is still bothering me. The top of the ear should be more horizontal instead of pointing upwards. The bottom of the ear needs a few more curves as well. I can now go in and refine the face I've drawn. I'll start by opening up the eyes by drawing the upper lids higher up. Now we can draw the top of the head and make sure the ear connects naturally to the head. Darken the middle line of the mouth and make sure of the angle. Add bumps to the nose where the nostrils sit. Lighten the entire sketch with your kneadable eraser. Take your sharp 2H or HB pencil and redraw everything. This is one of the last chances you get to make changes. Use your lightened sketch as a guide only. Make changes everywhere you see necessary and erase the old lines as you go. Make sure the lines you make now are thin and light. Add any extra details such as the highlights in the eyes. Make sure to draw the nostrils as well as the wings of the nose. After you draw the nose, you can draw the groove going down to the middle of the mouth. Draw the M shape of the upper lip. Remember, the right side of the mouth will be longer than the left because the face is looking away from the camera. The mouth is slightly open and the bottom lip is just a little thinner than the upper lip. Don't use a straight line to draw the wool trimming. Draw small bumps instead. When drawing the finer details, you can also include lines where shadows fall. This will help you out later when we're shading. Remember to use bumps for the trimming instead of a straight line. You can pause the video here to see if there are any lines you might have missed making. If you have more lines than me, then it's okay. Nobody's initial sketch is going to look the same. This sketch is just for yourself to help you get to the end result. We're going to shade from left to right, from the top to the bottom. This will ensure our palms never need to touch already shaded areas of our sketch, and we can avoid smudging the parts we've already completed. First, lighten the left ear with your kneadable eraser. Keep close your soft, medium and hard charcoal pencils, as well as your paper stump and sandpaper block. Sharpen your paper stump before using it. Make sure your ear is as light as possible without completely erasing it. Take your hard charcoal pencil and lightly start shading the inner part of the ear. Take the paper stump and blend it out. Shade more of the inner ear as well as the top of the ear and blend it out again. Take your medium charcoal pencil and darken the ear below the cheek as well as edges inside the inner ear. Blend it out. Keep layering like this until it's as dark as you want it. Keep adding details by paying attention to the shapes of the shadow. Use your kneadable eraser to lighten areas where you might have gone too dark. Take your soft charcoal pencil and line the outside of the ear. Repeat with the hard charcoal pencil to help create a harder edge. The hard charcoal pencil is better at filling the texture of the paper. Blend outwards, from dark to light. Shade a larger area around the ear and blend it out again. Repeat with a soft charcoal pencil. Now that the ear has the contrast of the darker background, we can more easily see where we need darker areas. Go back in and darken everywhere you see fit. I want my background a little darker still with a less prominent line. Next, we'll do the eyes. Lighten the eyes with your kneadable eraser. Shade the entire area inside the eyes with your medium charcoal pencil, except for the highlights of course. Go over it with your paper stump to smooth it out. Take your soft graphite pencil and create a darker spot in the middle and draw a line all around the eye. Blend it out. You can darken the middle and the edges of the eyes some more. Soften the edges of the highlights by rubbing a clean part of the paper stump on the line. Shade the nose. Start by darkening the nostrils. Then pick up the pigment in the nostrils with your paper stump and use it to shade the rest of the nose as well as all around the nose. Look at the groove above the lip. Notice how it has light on the left and dark on the right, with the groove itself being dark on the left and light on the right. Lighten the pencil marks on the forehead and mouth. Darken the line we drew above the eye. Shade the corner of the eyelid without touching the eye. Shade underneath the eye, again without touching the eye. We want a white line around the eye. Blend it out. Use your kneadable eraser to lighten the white line around the eye. I'm just going back in to sharpen the edges and darken in the middle of the eye. I'm also darkening the line of the upper eyelid crease. Now we can start shading the eyebrow ridges. Don't shade on top of the ridge, only all around it. Darken the indent in the middle of the forehead and blend it out towards the left. Repeat the process on the right. Now we can start shading the rest of the face. Leave a small white line on the left and make sure you keep the chin light. Darken the middle line of the lips and soften the line with your paper stump. Use your paper stump to darken below the bottom lip and on the left of the mouth. Darken the line of the wool trimming and shade above it. Continue shading the rest of the face. Very lightly line the upper lip and blend downwards. Darken behind the head. Do the same thing we did with the ear. Lighten the right ear. Now we can complete the shading of the rest of the face. Remember, the right side is slightly darker than the left side. Darken the line on the inside and lightly shade in some details of the ear before blending it out. Now we can go in and do it again with a soft charcoal pencil. I'm also going to lightly shade the tip of the ear before blending it out. Lightly shade the outsides of the ear as well. Keep layering the pigment like this until you are happy with how dark it is. Here, I'm using the pigment of the eye to create the wrinkles where the ear connects to the head. Now, darken the most prominent wrinkles before softening them. I'm darkening the right side of the head some more. Before I know how dark I can go with the ear, I need to do the background. Use your kneadable eraser to bring back some highlights. Now I can darken the ear. Lighten the wool trimming. Take your hard charcoal pencil and line the left side. We're going to make a bunch of different shapes. Pack them in tight next to each other and fill the entire area. Now shade in between the shapes. This can get confusing. Be prepared to improvise and create more shapes as you go along. Leave a portion of the left side unshaded. Take your color shaper and go over the unshaded area. Use your medium charcoal pencil to shade again. Shade just one line down the left side we left open earlier. Go over the shaded area with the color shaper. Then go over everything on the right side and in the middle. Take your paper stump and start going over the dark areas. Pay attention to where the folds are. Go over the light areas with the color shaper. Darken where the folds are with the soft charcoal pencil. Go over it with the color shaper, and then with the paper stump. Keep going like this until you are satisfied. Use your kneadable eraser to lighten some of the shapes we created, especially those in lighter areas. Now do the same thing with the little triangle sticking out at the bottom. Time to shade the background. Lighten the left arm and hand. Start shading the darkest areas. This would be right below the wool and also where the fabric folds. Blend it out. Make sure to leave the area on the left unshaded. Keep shading the dark areas until you have a realistic fold. Also darken the zigzag going down the arm. You can very lightly shade the left of the arm. Darken the line of the opening of the sleeve and soften it with a paper stump. Lighten right above the dark line with a kneadable eraser. Shade the top of the first finger as well as the right side and the middle. Blend it out. Darken the top right and blend it out. Line the top of the nail and lightly shade it. Use your kneadable eraser to bring out some highlights. Start with the background. Shade inside the sleeve. It should be lighter than the finger, and leave a line open at the bottom. Line the nail and the second finger before darkening the top right corner and down the middle of the finger. Blend it out. Use the kneadable eraser to bring out the highlights. Darken the rest of the sleeve. Make sure it's darker on the right. Shade the third finger. Leave a light line on the bottom. Start shading the rest of the body. Start by shading where it's darkest and blend it out. Keep layering until it's as dark as you want. It should be darker next to the arm and lighter below the hand. Do the rest of the background on the left. Start with the right side of the body. Shade below the wool and darken the line that separates the body from the right arm. Blend it out. Lightly shade the middle and blend it out. Shade the entire right side with your hard charcoal pencil and blend it out. Use a kneadable eraser to lighten the fold next to the arm. Keep layering until it's as dark as you need it to be. Shade the sleeve on the right. I'm shading the entire area before I blend because this sleeve is darker than the left sleeve. I'm also lining the whole hand before shading because its highlights are duller than the highlights on the left. Shade the rest of the background. And that's it. We just drew Baby Yoda. Thank you for watching.